Oh, good morning, everybody. What's that? I want to share my thoughts this morning with y'all about this whole globe and flat Earth theory. A lot of people say, you think we live on a globe or a flat plane. And it just got me thinking. Um, they both right. We live on a flat plane enclosed in the globe. This is just my theory. A lot of people say, well, how you come to that? Well, easy. All you gotta do is look up, whenever you get a chance, type in bottle garden. And basically it's just, people who grow plants inside of bottles. Basically you just take some soil and dirt, seed, stick a plant in the bottle with a little water and close it. And the plant will actually start growing. The reason being is because, as the water in the bottle is heated by the sun, the water evaporates and the condensation runs down the side of the bottle. And the reason why the plant doesn't die of carbon dioxide poisoning is because the plant self-filters the air inside the bottle along with the water, which if you put the right minerals and right rocks and right soil into the bottle along with the plant, it's going to filter itself so the water won't become mildew. It won't mildew. So this is the whole concept behind a garden in the bottle. So we don't look at the things we do and realize, wait a minute, if we can do this with a bottle and some dirt, this aid might actually really be a true representation of the plane that we live on. It makes sense. It's just one flat surface with a round bottom and it basically an invisible covering, what they call the ionosphere. The ionosphere is what the protective dome above us. Y'all learn this in science. Y'all understand that the ionosphere covers the Earth. Yes, this is why we can't go into space. And so that's why I'm trying to figure out what the whole big deal with NASA is. The NASA astronauts tell you every day that we still haven't figured out how to break through the ionosphere to get into outer space, as far as with humans on it. They send these drones and so-called capsules, but they always send us back recreated pictures. It's never a real representation of what these things are so-called capturing, if they're actually even capturing pictures or film or some type of footage, because we still haven't seen what a real planet or a star or anything out there looks like, other than the pictures they draw up and give to us. I'm saying they tell y'all this stuff every time they get on TV, but y'all seem not to care. It's just not important to y'all. But y'all not realizing that's billions and billions of dollars coming from somewhere. It's a lot of hungry people out here, and we keep trying to be worried about going out to space. We ain't even taking care of the plane that we live on. So what y'all trying to leave for? You know what I'm saying? If we can't take care of where we stay, I don't think it'd be smart for human beings to travel to space. We'd be like a virus, just killing planets everywhere we go. That's just my thought. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might want to think maybe these so-called spaceships ain't going all the way up and out. They're not going up. You ever notice they start to arc after a while? Maybe they're traveling further out in the straight direction once it gets to a certain altitude. Maybe they trying to figure out just how far out this plane we live on goes. Maybe it's some new land out there they know about. Maybe it's a whole nother world out there we have no clue about, and that we are not, let's say, allowed to go see. Because one thing people fail to forget is, they say we free, but I can't get on the boat and just travel the seas until I can't stop no more. At some point, somebody's gonna stop me. Whether it be the UN or the US Navy or some type of military operation, they gonna stop me and tell me to turn my ass around. I've gone too far. Like, well, what do you mean I've gone too far? I thought I was free to go wherever I wanted to go and do whatever I wanted to do. So you telling me I just can't keep riding this ocean? Well, I got to stop at a certain point and turn around. Well, what you got going on? Well, what you doing? You know? It's just how I see things, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, a lot of people, you know, you ain't got to agree with me. You ain't got to disagree with me. But either way it goes, it's going to get you thinking. You know, maybe we need to really start checking out this NASA thing. Really thinking this space thing over. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why civilizations back then, you know, didn't say people came from space. They just said they came from the heavens. They came from above. Most likely it was just a representation that they could fly. Not the fact that they actually came from outer space. And maybe through different processions of the earth, once certain ice capsules melt, certain portals are now open, especially over the seas. Maybe certain mountain range peaks get too high in certain parts that we have no clue about. And once that ice melts, now you can fly over it. And now all of a sudden the people from the heavens reappear. Just through different phases of the earth. Because as we see, the earth does go through phases. We have seasons, but the earth itself has, you know, a whole cycle. Just like we do. This is why it floods every so often. Because it has to clean itself. You know? It's just my theory, you know. It's just my thoughts and how things work. You know, you can go do your research about the space program, and I don't see why y'all keep saying we've been to the moon, and NASA done told y'all 1,000 times, you ain't been to no moon. How you lose technology, but we more advanced now. But y'all just, yeah, we've been to the moon. Nah, you can't go there. I'm sorry, you can't escape the ionosphere. It's not gonna happen. It was designed for that way. This is, y'all gotta understand this, especially if you religious people. You know, you have to understand that the Most High is not gonna allow you to leave. And then I want to ask y'all this, for you know, religious fanatics out there. Wouldn't it be extremely disrespectful to try to leave a place that was created for you? It's kind of like saying, well, what I did for you wasn't good enough, and you got to go out there and find something new. Because I know if I do something for my child, and they like, all right, but I'm going to go out here and see if I can find something, I'm going to feel some type of way. Like, so what you saying, nigga? That I don't know what's good for you? I basically made you and raised you, and you, okay, keep trying. You see what happens, you know, even in normal human life, when we go against what our parents have, the rules our parents have set for us, the situation is never good. So why would you go against the Most High's rules and regulations? See, it's not all about what's written down in that book. Okay? Yes, the book is an extremely useful guideline to understanding, you know, what's going on and what the Most High wants from you. But also there are unwritten rules. There are rules that you can only understand and comprehend when you adhere to the rules of nature. You know, when you get back out in the world and understand, I don't mean, you know, the world, I mean the plane we live on. Because, you know, especially if you read these religious texts, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, from dirt you came, from dirt you will return. As far as this physical aspect, you know. And that's proven, because everything that's here has always been here, will always be here, and ain't going nowhere. And that's what we need to really start understanding, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's common sense. When you die, you get buried in the ground. That box they put you in was made from material taken from this earth. So everything that you see, everything that is, everything that was, everything that will be, even the book you read from, the material that it is, all came from this planet. It's like people keep looking for the Garden of Eden. Once again, I look at things a little different. You know what I'm saying? I understand that these books, yes, they are the words of God. Keyword, words of God. Just words. But y'all fail to forget, y'all can see, feel, and hear God also. And I'm not talking about the words that have been written and you speak them and you hear them. Nah, I mean when you get out here and really shut up and listen. Look around. Touch a tree. Play in the dirt. Really get back to, understanding more about one's self, and then you really understand everything else around you. Because once again, even your religious books, the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, even if you go to the Book of the Dead, or as proper Egyptians, the Kemites like to call it, the Book of the Coming Forth of Day and Night, or if you go to the Book of Ptah or the Emerald Tablets, the story of Thoth, or whatever his name is, or even go through Sumerian texts, Epics of Gilgamesh, you go through Mayan, Aztec civilizations, even here in America, the Mississippian cultures, the mound builders. You know what I'm saying? If you go through all of these people's religious aspects, the main key is knowing oneself. And in the understanding of oneself, you truly get an understanding of what's around you. Because even the Bible tells you, once again, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. From the earth you come, from the earth you shall return. So once you understand this thing that you live in, and this thing that you are, you understand the thing that you walk on. Plain and simple. Because you do come from it and you can go back to it. And that's proven fact. You know what I'm saying? When you die or anything dies on this earth, it goes back to the earth. So common sense has to tell you, anything that's born here, no matter how it got here, no matter, how we figure out how that happened, yes, there was a divine intervention, but at the same time, you still have to have a physical creation. And how that took place, I got my theories on that, but I'll share it another time. But we have to understand, when you know this thing that you move around in, then you know what you live in. And now you can better understand on how to treat it and how to properly go by doing things. Because there are rules and regulations. And this is what we keep failing to forget. And this is why we keep getting stuck in the situations we get stuck in. And we cause things that we don't need to cause upon ourselves unnecessarily. Yes, the earth has its cycles, but we can also disturb those cycles by the things that we do as human beings. This is why you don't see animals building apartment complexes, houses in certain aspects. And this is also why that the people who built long time ago, this is why what they built still remained. Because they followed the rules of nature. It was built in the correct aspect. So this is why it will always be here. This is why it was built from stone. This is why they didn't build from metal. This is why they didn't build from BS cement. This is why they didn't build sky rises. They built out, not up. They built a few things up, but those were monuments made for a purpose. But for the most part, in living conditions, they built out. See, we build up. And this is what the problems that we're having. See, they don't tell you that there's many holes in the ozone layer. But no, it's just a bunch of smog and pollution over these cities. This is why we don't see the stars at night. And this is why we lost out here. You know what I'm saying? Because people always say, oh yeah, I'm enlightened, I'm woke. But I like to test that theory. What do you know about the earth? See, what is true knowledge? True knowledge to me really is not something that's in a book. True knowledge is something I can go outside and learn under my own understanding with the guidance of my spiritual mothers and fathers. You know what I'm saying? That's true knowledge. Something I ain't gotta read. Something I know. Something I ain't gotta believe. Once again, it's something I know. I don't do the belief system. Because to me, believing is really just saying you don't know. That's why I don't believe in anything. I know what I know to be true. So therefore, when you ask me, what do you believe? Nothing. What do you know? Oh, let's sit down and talk. See, that's the difference. I don't ask a person's beliefs. Because to me, beliefs is you basically saying you don't know. See, I believe. Belief is basically having faith in something that you really aren't sure about. So you believe that if you do this, this will happen. See, I don't work like that. I'm like, I know if I do this, I know this is going to happen. Because I understand cause and effect. You know, so. You know, this is just a quick thought for myself today. You know what I'm saying? I figured I'd wake up and share. So, have a good day. See y'all later.